Hello, I am Paavo Järvi. I'm a chief conductor and the music director of the Tonhalle-Orchester Zürich. Conductor. Who is a conductor? Conductor is the one who conducts the orchestra with this magic baton here in my hand, made out of wood. Why am I conductor? Very simple, because my father is a conductor, my father's brother was a conductor, my brother is a conductor, so it's a little bit of a family tradition, I should say. I wanted to be a conductor since I was 4 or 3 or 2 or 1, maybe even before, because music was always playing in our house, because my father was always fun. He always was very excited about music, so I wanted to be like him. I think a lot of small boys want to be like their fathers. And so before it was any decision, I knew that it was definitely conducting that I want to be doing the rest of my life, and now this is how I earn my living. I'm a conductor of this wonderful orchestra, the Zürich Tonhalle-Orchester, since 2019. And conducting is not just some mysterious movements that the conductor makes. It actually is quite scientific, and it is a language, and a language that all the musicians understand, if you are a good conductor. And there are certain technical, manual movements that every orchestra member actually understands. So I'll show you a little bit how I start the piece. Usually you start the piece, everybody's quiet, and then you have to breathe. Just so like musicians breathe, like woodwinds breathe, like strings, so they would understand when to start. And every person, either you're playing a brass instrument, wind instrument, even percussionists, and clearly, of course, the strings, they all need to breathe because we are human and we need to breathe. And if we all breathe together, we can start together. So a conductor who starts like this will never succeed because people have to have time. Wow. So the breathing is very important. So then there is a breath to the second beat, third beat. Music goes very often either in 3, in 4, in 2, sometimes in 6, sometimes in more complicated meters. But if simple meter in a classical music is 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And then 1 is again down. If it's in 3, it's 1, 2, 3. So if the musician sees my hand is here, they know it's on the second beat. And if they are lost, which they never are here, then they know, okay, well, I'm on the second beat because the hand is this way. The other thing about conducting that it can show character. If you want very precise, clean, clear, short, you have a very good way of showing this with the hand. If you want something singing, something that has a legato and line, this is something that musicians also see. So this is just a simple, basic technique that every musician knows and every musician understands when they see it. If it's done well, musician intuitively will do it better. And if it feels like totally easy and as if it is second nature, and if it looks simple, then it's really a great conductor. The simpler it looks, the more organic it looks, the better it's done. It's usually with everything, the same with violin, same with singing. If it feels like it's easy, that means it's a very great master. Perhaps you wonder, how does it all start and how do we prepare for the concert? What you see on the podium here and what you see me doing in concert is just the tip of the iceberg. Most of the work that conductor does is at home studying the score. The score is well, I'll show you. Score is a piece of music where every instrument is written down. So when a musician sees one line, I see 29 lines. And this is a 1 bar, that's the 1 bar, a 1 bar, and you have to sit down at home and study the score very carefully so you know how the composer put together this score. Very often something that lasts 5 minutes in concert took 1 year to write, even more. So it takes a lot of time to learn the score, understand how it's put together, and then comes the next period where you go in front of the orchestra and you will teach the score to the musicians. Musicians who have practiced their own parts, but they maybe haven't seen the full score and don't have maybe the concept of how the whole piece should sound. So when I look at the score, sometimes I can hear exactly how it sounds. With some complex scores, I will have to go to the piano, play the chords, understand how the rhythms work, and do a very detailed study of what actually is going on here. And with a score that took many years or many months to write, it takes many, many hours to learn. So what you see at the concert is just the end result. Just like you see a pianist or a soloist, what they do on the concert is a result of hours and hours and hours of practicing. So after all the study that you do at home, what happens next? You come to rehearsal and you have 3 days, sometimes 4 days, of rehearsing for 3 or 4 hours a day with the orchestra and learn the piece together. And what happens on the day of the concert? Every conductor, every musician has its own ritual. It is not something that ever is the same with 2 different musicians. For me personally, I always sleep before the concert, always. It is kind of a superstition, and I have to be in bed at least hour and a half before I wake up, about an hour before the concert. I have a cup of coffee, I take a shower, and then I am ready mentally to do the concert. I come to the concert hall, I get dressed, I don't want to see anybody. I don't want to talk to anybody. I never give hello with my hand because I don't want to give the energy away from my body. And then comes a little knock on the door, and I can hear the orchestra tuning. And then everything that I've learned in the score, everything that we have prepared together, will be put to test. And I step on this podium, I have a score in front of me like this, and I forget everything that I know, and I throw it all out of my head and just try to feel the music. So let's see how it sounds. I hope you enjoyed what you saw, and I personally would love to see you in this wonderful hall, hearing this great orchestra, at least once, but please, come more than once. I know you will. Bye.